In today's video, we're going to talk about how to maintain your weight after weight loss in 3 simple steps. And I'll also be sharing with you what to expect if you do follow these 3 steps. And if you stick around to the end, there may or may not be a 4th bonus step. What's up guys, Ryan here at TreadawayTraining.com, where we help busy professionals get more results in less time through online training. Now before we begin, if you want more information on body transforming training and nutrition topics, consider subscribing. The unfortunate fact is most people who go on a diet and lose weight will regain that weight. The problem is most people have at least some sort of plan of how they're going to get the weight off, but they don't have a plan for what they're going to do once the diet is over. People tend to just go back to the way they were eating before the diet. And the problem is, the way they were eating before the diet is what made them overweight to start with. That leads us to step 1, which is to find your new maintenance intake. I'll explain what that means and how to do it here in a moment, but first, it's helpful to understand how weight gain and weight loss work. Our bodies require energy to function. Here in the US, we measure that energy with the unit of measurement that you're all familiar with, the calorie. All diets work by removing calories. It could be that you're counting calories and you purposely remove a certain amount of calories, or it could be that you simply eliminate certain foods, thereby eliminating calories unknowingly. Because you're not consuming enough energy or calories to fuel your body, it has to use its reserve energy, which is your body fat. Now, if you continue doing this over time, your body will continue to burn body fat and you'll continue to lose weight. Once you've hit your target weight and you're no longer wanting to lose weight anymore, you'll need to increase your intake to the point that you're maintaining your body weight, hence maintenance intake. There are 2 ways to calculate your maintenance intake. The first will require you to already know how many calories you're eating per day, as well as how fast you are losing weight. So how many pounds per week are you losing? And the rule is simply that for every pound that you're losing each week, you'll add 500 calories per day to your diet. So for an example, if you're dieting and you're consuming 1,500 calories per day and you're losing weight at a rate of 1 pound per week, then you'll add 500 calories to your daily calorie intake, which would put you at 2,000 calories per day to maintain your weight. Now, if you don't know both of those things, you can use the second method, which is simply to use a calorie calculator to estimate how many calories you need to maintain your body weight. And I'll link one of those as the first link down in the description. The place where a lot of people mess up is they'll go back to their old maintenance intake. But that won't work though, because you're a smaller person now. You have a smaller body. You've dieted down, you weigh less, you require less energy to move around. To give an example, let's say we have a 200-pound male who requires 3,000 calories to maintain his body weight. If he diets down to 180 pounds, he will no longer require 3,000 calories to maintain his body weight. He's now a smaller individual. He'll likely require something more like 2,700 calories to maintain his body weight. In addition to this, when you diet, your metabolism slows down over time as a survival mechanism, because it essentially thinks that there's a famine and your body wants to protect you from starving to death. So a helpful tip if you use the calorie calculator that I've listed below is it actually will give a recommended range rather than a specific number. So to be safe, aim for the lower end of that range, because like I just said, if you've been dieting for a while, your metabolism will have slowed down as a result of the diet. Plus, it's a little bit easier mentally if you realize that you haven't added in enough calories and you need to add in more, versus if you realize you've added in too many and then you have to go back and take some away. Before we move on to step 2, let's talk about what to expect when you increase your calorie intake. When you first increase your calorie intake, you'll likely experience a small bump up on the scale. Now, don't let this scare you, because remember, you've just increased your calorie intake. In other words, you're eating more food, and that food weighs something. So when you step on the scale, you're also going to be weighing that food, which weighs something again. So your weight will go up just a little bit. If after the small bump up, your weight flattens out, you know you're eating the appropriate amount of food. Now, if you have that small bump up and it continues to rise, then you know you've added in too many calories and you need to step it back just a little bit. On the other hand, what I see with a small percentage of my clients is you may actually start to lose weight when you add in these calories. And when I do see this, it's usually in guys who are pretty muscular and have pretty fast metabolisms naturally. Earlier I explained that when we remove calories, our metabolism will drop. Well, when we add in calories, the metabolism will usually speed up. However, the body usually does not adjust the metabolism as aggressively in response to adding calories as it does to removing them. But for a small percentage of people, your body may overcompensate for the number of calories that you're adding in, causing you to start losing weight again. I call this metabolic overshooting. If it happens, simply add 100 calories to your daily intake, wait a week. If you're still losing weight, add in another 100 calories. Repeat this until you get to the point where you're maintaining your body weight. If you want to work on building muscle, you can continue to add calories until you've reached the rate of weight gain that you want. If you're a beginner, I would recommend you aim for 2 to 3 pounds of weight gain per month. This will ensure that the majority of the weight that you're gaining is actually muscle and not body fat. If you're more advanced, I would recommend you aim for 1 to 2 pounds per month, since you'll be gaining muscle more slowly than if you were a beginner. This leads us to step 2, which is if you aren't already lifting weights, start now. If you diet without lifting weights, some of the weight you lose will come from muscle mass. In addition to this not leading to the look most of you are after, if you lose muscle mass, your metabolism will slow down more quickly when dieting. This means you'll require fewer calories to maintain your body weight, making it much easier to overeat and regain the weight that you lost. If you lift weights, it'll add lean body mass. If you add lean body mass, you'll require more calories per day to maintain your weight. If you require more calories per day to maintain your weight, it'll be harder to overeat, making it harder to regain the weight that you lost. If you're new to weightlifting, the video up in the cards will show you how to train every muscle with only 6 exercises. Step 3 goes hand in hand with step 2, and that's to eat more protein. Aim to get 0.8 to 1.0 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. So using myself as an example, I weigh 190 pounds, so that would be 152 to 190 grams of protein each day. And personally, I aim for the upper end of this range just to be safe. Eating more protein has 3 major benefits. The first is that it is thermogenic. Thermo meaning heat, and genic meaning to produce. You're producing more heat. In other words, you are burning more calories. And if you're burning more calories, it makes it harder to regain the weight that you lost. The second benefit is that if you eat more protein, it will help you to build more muscle. And as we've already discussed, more muscle equals a faster metabolism equals harder to regain the weight that you've lost. The last benefit is that it is satiating, meaning that it's filling. So if you eat more protein, you'll get full faster, making it harder to overeat, making it harder to regain that weight. And surprise, surprise, there is a bonus step. Step number 4, eat more fiber. Fiber, like protein, and really even more so than protein, is very filling, meaning that it's going to make it harder to overeat because you're going to get full faster. And as a bonus, foods that are high in fiber also tend to be low in calories. It's kind of a 1-2 punch for ensuring that you're not eating too many calories each day. Aim to get 14 grams of fiber per every 1,000 calories that you're eating each day. So for example, if you're eating 2,000 calories per day, that would be 28 grams of fiber. If you're eating 3,000 calories per day, that would be 42 grams of fiber per day. These are the 3 most important tips for maintaining your weight loss, but it doesn't mean that it's the only 3 tips. If you have a great tip for maintaining weight loss after you've lost weight, share those with everyone down in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. If you want more content just like this, consider subscribing, or you can check out one of the videos that will be up on the screen. You can also check us out at the Treadaway Training Blogcast. We're there every Sunday at 3 p.m. That's treadawaytraining.com/blog. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you tomorrow. To give an example, let's